Hello, and welcome to my short guide on taking hard mode Chimaeron. I hope this proves to be useful and helpful to guilds working on this boss, and I apologize for the narrow point of view. I would have done a full guide on this boss, but you can't really see shit other than the tanks. But anyways. The biggest thing as a tank that we have to look out for is that during feuds, Chimaeron will continue to attack the tanks. This means that Finkel's Mixture will not be up to save the tanks from being one-shotted. To combat this, we use 3 tanks. The 3rd tank remains break-free, taunts during feud, and pops cooldowns to stay alive. This one's pretty obvious, but I think it's worth mentioning. I find it much easier to watch the double attack buff than watching Chimaeron's animations or watching the raid warnings. As soon as that buff disappears, I know it's safe to taunt back off the off tank. Double attack will cancel itself if Chimaeron casts Massacre. Thank God too, this one is easy enough to see in action. Be sure to communicate with the other tanks so they know not to taunt back or that they need to taunt back. Abuse self-healing. Again, this one goes without saying. Always have an ability ready after Massacre. As a Death Knight, I have a lot of options available to myself, Death Strike being the biggest one. Glyph of Room Tap is also especially helpful to heal the other party members, and 10k HP is pretty easy to self-heal too. Coordinate cooldowns for feud with other raid members. Really, there's no reason to use cooldowns for any other part of this fight, except for 20% push, which I'm not including in this video. Shield wall-like cooldowns are absolutely necessary for feud. Have priests rotate pain suppression on the tank. Sack is probably not a good idea. I can count at least 2 times where we've had paladins die. As a side note, the raid will also need a cooldown at this point. A powered barrier is very helpful. Feuds are inconsistent. And this is a big one. Sometimes Chimaeron will feud after 3 massacres, other times he'll feud after 2, which is really frustrating. If he feuds after 3 each time, the tank should have a shield wall ready, but if he feuds after 2, then shield wall will still be on cooldown. You have to pop what you can to stay alive, and usually that doesn't turn out very well. And as a final side note, avoidance is king, and I think the clip here speaks for itself. There's like 5 dodges. And thanks again. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to PM me or leave a comment.